first stage is getting your dog to drop the object. So I just get them to pick it up off the floor, and when they do, I click and I give them a treat. Repeat several times. Add duration so that the dog has to hold the object longer before you click and treat. Also, be very cognizant that you're letting the dog drop the object. You're not taking it from their mouth. This is very important. The next stage is teaching your dog to go to a platform or a station. This is what's going to allow your dog to actually get distance. The other thing I want you to notice is that I'm timing my click while Brian is facing away from me. Now we're going to add in the object that Brian needs to take to his station. You need to get up and retrieve the object, otherwise your dog is going to think that it needs to retrieve it. You'll also have noticed that I moved the platform back just a bit. Pay attention to when I clicked. It was when Brian was facing away from me. You'll notice I've been increasing the distance that Brian needs to go to his station to take the object. Also, always remember to retrieve that object yourself. Don't let your dog. Now I'm adding the marker and I'm placing it directly in front of the station. I'm going to reward my dog just for going on the station a few times in front of the marker. Now I'm going to move the marker a little bit away from the station. I'm going to be continuing getting Brian to go to his station as I'm moving the marker out. This is going to reinforce to Brian that the destination is the station. Now that I have the marker as far away from the station as I want it, I'm going to start stepping back from the marker. I'm getting more and more distance away from that marker. Now I'm adding my drop it object, but I'm going to start back in front of the platform. With each successive repetition, I'm going to be adding distance between me and the platform. Also, make sure to click when the dog is facing away from you. Also, make sure to time your click with when the dog is facing away from you on the station. That's going to ensure the dog isn't going to get confused and think they need to bring it back. Also, by doing this, you're also ensuring that the dog is going to hold the object in its mouth until it hears the release cue, which is the clicker, which eventually is going to be a whistle. Now you're going to notice that I'm moving the marker farther away from the station. Now we're going to swap the big station or platform out for a smaller station. I'm using just a small square mat. I've also moved the marker back right in front of my mat. I'm repeating the same process that I did with the station and the marker, except I'm doing it with the mat. So what I'm doing is I'm creating my distance and I'm moving the marker away a little bit at a time, still with no object for the dog to drop. Now what I'm doing is I'm putting it all together. I've got the mat, the marker, and the object. So what I'm doing is I'm getting the dog to take the object, pass the marker to the mat, and drop it. Once again, what I really want you to notice is that I'm timing my click with the dog facing away from me.